What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of You Guessed It, Joel Davis Media Network. If it's your first time tuning into the broadcast, do me a favor, go ahead on and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell up top. Hope everybody loved the new intro. Just trying to step the game up so that way we have a great presentation when we got nothing but legendary people on the show. So, we know we got Jericho tonight coming in, and not to mention, too, we also got a surprise guest, someone that hasn't been on the show in a while. So, without further ado, let me introduce to you my friend so we can start talking about this politics and news that's going on around the country. First and foremost, this is Jericho Green. Y'all already know who it is. Jericho, man.
Yeah. What's up?
And hey, man, glad to have you in the building. Trying to make this a Wednesday thing. And our special guest, we haven't seen him in a while. Hardest working man in the business. My brother, my homie, the first guy that ever interviewed me for anything on his show, Hood Conservative. Hey, Hood Conservative, what's up?
Definitely not the hardest working man on here. I would gladly give that to Joel and Jericho. You know, shout out to both of y'all. And Joel, listen, that damn intro is definitely bougie. You know what I mean? You definitely getting on it with the intro.
That was nice.
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
Hey, that's why I told y'all I put y'all on my intro guy, man. I got my own personal guy now doing that stuff for me. So yeah, I'm trying to step it up, man, for the next level. That's what I'm trying to do. Trying to take y'all guys' advice. Keep striving, keep striving. So tonight's topic, guys, we're gonna talk about a lot of stuff going on in this country. First and foremost, we know we got people that don't want to take responsibility marching all around the country. We also talking about rappers now getting acquainted, not with the studio, but with Rico in a cell. Now, we also going to be touching base about BLM co-founder Patrice, who's probably hiding and praying for God to protect her through victimhood because of what's going on with our sister Candace Owens exposing the truth. And we're still going to talk about other things that's going on with Elon Musk and try to cover as much as possible. And oh yeah, not to forget the lady who risked it all for love that got caught. Well, she didn't get caught. She basically killed herself in a crash. So, with that being said, we're going to jump right into things. And the first things first, let's get into this whole abortion protest still going on week 2. And now we get to the point now that we're going to the Supreme Court Justice office homes. We're not keeping it at the office. We're going to their homes now and invading them. So, what do y'all guys think about that? With all that going on, when you seeing this type of level of debauchery?
Well, I think that, like many other things, the First Amendment is when it's convenient, they wrap themselves in it and hold it tight. You can't touch me. First Amendment. I can say whatever I want. The right to peaceably assemble. Yeah, when those things are convenient, they clutch them, white knuckle. They ain't letting that shit go. But when somebody else tries to do it who may not agree with them socially and politically, then it's a problem. Then the Constitution is outdated. We need to rewrite it. It was a bunch of old racist white men. So with all of these rights that we have, and that's why people come here by the millions. That's why the rest of the world is super jelly, as the kids say. It's because we have all these freedoms. But if we learned anything from not Batman, or Spider-Man's uncle, with great power comes great responsibility. And with great rights comes great responsibility. Just because you have them doesn't mean that you can exercise them whenever and wherever you want. You have to use some discretion. So the people who are protesting at the Supreme Court building, more power to you. That's why foreign soil has American blood in it. That's why you go right ahead. You air your grievances. Let them have it peacefully. But when you take that group to somebody's house, Now it's not a protest. Now it's harassment. Now you're bothering these people. You're fucking with them at their residence. We got to have, everybody needs to have a place to rest, a place that they can feel safe, a place that they can let their guard down, to recharge and get out there and face the world again tomorrow if it's given to us. So when you come to somebody's house, just like you watch these old mob movies and Goodfellas and all that, even though they were enemies, there was respect. There were rules that everybody follows. All right? No women, no children, stuff like that. And you don't go to a man's home or a woman's home, whatever. Leave them alone. 9 to 5 at their place of business, you let them have it. You bring your chairs up there, you get comfortable. It's going to be a long day. You let them have it. Hell no, we won't go. Whatever you want to say, because that's what they signed up for. That's what our Constitution and our Bill of Rights says that we can do. Is what you signed up for, Supreme Court. So I'm going to give you the business during your working hours. But going to their homes, that's bullshit. I don't care. Conservative, liberal, left, right. You don't do that shit. There's got to be some rules, some regulations, because that's what separates us from the animals. We follow rules here. So going to their house, no, that's bullshit, man. And they got the emojis of Michael Jackson in the Thriller video with his bucket of popcorn. I cannot wait. I look forward to the day. I'm excited for the day that Roe v. Wade is overturned, to watch all those disgusting, evil sons of bitches be so mad and screaming and crying and getting mad. I can't wait. They say take the high road, but you guys need to come down here and check out the low road. Fuck them. You've been bullying us and berating us and beating us over the head and acting like jackasses. We deserve a win. Fuck you guys. They're gonna overturn that shit, and I can't wait. I'm gonna go buy a kayak so I can kayak down the rivers of leftist tears.
It's gonna be a flood, Jericho. 'Cause listen, I'm telling you, if you look at these people now, these are the same people that champion the jab. So all this my body, my choice thing, they got behind the fact that you don't have a choice when it comes to your body. See, and it goes back to what you were saying before about it's good for them. The First Amendment, they like to use it, white knuckle that thing, hold on to it, and it's good when it's good for them. But as you can see, when there was the promotion of this jab situation, it wasn't, oh, my body, my choice. It's you're killing people if you're not doing this. Now, you're not killing the baby in the womb, but I'm not killing people if I'm not following these certain guidelines. It just goes to show you that the hypocrisy that these people really take. They don't really have morals. They don't really have ideologies. They don't really believe in something like my body, my choice, because if they did, they wouldn't have been trying to force the jab down our neck the past, year. And I mean, like, if you look at this situation with Roe v. Wade, a lot of it is really just saying, well, the state is going to have the power to choose. And I mean, and they know, they know what states. They know these red states aren't going to give them that. And they know these blue states, they might. It's going to be a fight back and forth. But the federal government, and I keep trying to explain this to people, the federal government shouldn't have anything to do with that anyway. I mean, I don't see why they're championing for that, especially if you're saying it's my body, it's my choice. Then you want to keep the federal government out of that. The federal government shouldn't be subsidizing or paying for it. So, if it's your body, if it's your choice, then it's going to be your bread. It should be your money that pays for it. Why should the federal government have to subsidize these programs and then go ahead on and wholly take care of it through your health care? And then what killed me too is, black folks, they always want to get into conspiracies, and black folks is the highest users of abortions in the highest committers of abortions in the country. And I mean, if that's not a conspiracy to kill your race, I don't know what to say to you. But we come behind and we champion this because we promote these policies on the left. The left uses us to promote these policies. They use black women to promote these policies, and they're trying to get them riled up because they see a lot of these governorships and senatorships going away, especially in these midterms. So they got a lot of problems. My body, my choice thing, it's just so much hypocrisy, especially after what we just dealt with this jab.
Yeah, remember the guy who lives at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, he said you're killing your family members. There's one less person sitting at the breakfast table because you didn't get the jab, because you didn't get poked. What? Like, what are you talking about? And how are we supposed to grow our numbers as black folks when white women per 1,000 is 6.6 abortions? Hispanic women per 1,000, 11.7 abortions. Black women per 1,000, 23.6. Damn near 4 times that of white women and more than double that of Mexican women, Hispanic women. And we just lost a percentage point. So we're back down to 12% of the population. So you throw in health issues, murders, and more than 300,000 abortions a year. How are we supposed to grow our numbers and therefore be represented in all these places where they cry about representation? Government, TV, entertainment, whatever, academia, wherever. How are we supposed to fill those spots if we keep knocking each other off like this? And again, the Supreme Court is not banning abortion. People are being willfully ignorant. We all have supercomputers in our pocket right now. They got all the information in human history at our fingertips. All they're doing is giving the power back to the people. The federal government is too damn bloated. When you get too big, it's like when you get real famous. You're not living like regular people anymore. You're out of touch with that. You're too big. Your life takes you in other directions. You're not living in these neighborhoods anymore. You got too much money for that. The federal government is too damn big. They need to get out. The things that the federal government should do should fit on a Post-it. That's it. They're not supposed to be involved in who we marry. They're not supposed to be involved in what we put in our body. They're not supposed to be involved in what we potentially want to take out of our body. That's not their business. Defense, infrastructure, things of that nature, passing the laws that we say we want passed. Shit like that. That's what they're supposed to do. Break up these monopolies, which they haven't done. Some of these tech companies, Google, one of the most powerful entities ever on earth. They got a real short list of things they're supposed to do. This kind of bullshit, and no matter whatever the federal government wants to get off of their to-do list and get back to us is good for us because we're ground zero. We live with these policies. So good, give us back our power. But people, there's a certain sect of our population that don't want power because with power comes responsibility. You can't just sit here and suckle on the federal tit and get EBT all the time. No, you got to be responsible. They don't want to do that shit. They just want to get plugged into the matrix. You know how they do it? They stick that thing in the back of their head and they just sit back and they're in a fantasy world. That's what they want to do. But those same jackasses also get to vote. And that's a problem for us.
Yeah. Before I chime in on that, let me get a shout out to Mr. Bob K. Mitt, our Navy veteran, for the $10 super chat. Thank you, brother.
Go Navy. What up, Bob? I'll see you Friday.
Hey, here's the thing, guys, and I agree with y'all guys 110%. This is not about rights for women, okay? This ain't about all that. What this thing boils down to is people now have to wake up and have accountability. Just like it boils down to it. If little Janie, that's what I'm just making a name up here, goes up here and is not responsible for what she does, then at the end of the day, if she's not at the proper state to do what she needs to do, she's going to have to move over to that state and get it taken care of. Now, I heard someone had an argument in one of the streams where they said, well, you don't understand about the adoption system, and there's so many children not getting adopted right now, blah blah blah. Okay, well, here's the thing. If that's a big issue for you, there's one thing you got to do. It's called abstinence. Only 9 to about 7% of this country has incest and violations that happens to them. Not all these women are experiencing that are going up here protesting. A lot of them brag about how they like doing what they do and violating people, and especially the men they deal with. You got some of these men don't even know that the girl went and did what you did. Just tell them months and years later. I mean, this is where we at in this culture, in this society. So it needs to be handled by the state. It's just what it needs to be. I mean, there's just some things that the government should not get involved in. And that's just what I feel that we have to stick and preach to everyone. And this is where it goes back to parenting. This is where parents, the nuclear family, here we go again, need to sit down, talk to that young boy and that young girl. I understand that you're going to get out here and do what you do at an early age, but please wrap it up. Take care of yourself. Get the proper, contraceptives. Because you can't say contraceptives is not available. You can go to the health department. They ready to give you free stuff for real.
Yeah,
I mean,
how much?
Look in California where you at. They giving it to kids at freaking elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
Man, who can't afford? Look, if you are going to have sex, you'll find a way to afford some condoms. Believe me, every young man out there listening, probably all of us right here, have gone to extraordinary lengths to get some. So if all you need to do is get some rubbers, man, please. Where there's a will, there's a way. And people who are saying that there are all these children waiting to be adopted is actually the opposite. My mom worked for the state adoption agency, and there are more families who want kids than there are kids that need families. So it's quite the opposite. There are plenty of people out there who want to take in children. And as far as being in a state where it could become illegal because of how the people vote, well, again, we got to come back around to that big ugly monster called responsibility. Mm-hmm. So now that you know that you just can't go down to the abortion drive-through and get one real quick on your way to the club, now you got to think, you got to plan. Do I got to go to another state? Do I got to do this shit illegally in some back room? Do I got to go grab a coat hanger or something? So that's going to make you think about what you're going to do. And something so important, give it a little bit of thought. And don't act like it's impossible to get into your adulthood or get into your 30s or whenever you plan on getting married without having a baby. I know a bunch of people who did that. I did that. It's possible. Use your head, the big one upstairs. Use your head. And I think if this is a scale, I think the responsibility may be slightly shifted in the on the woman's side, because women are clearly in the position of choice. All right. We don't get in free nowhere before 11. Nobody's chasing after men. We're not the desired ones in society, which is fine. I don't give a shit. I'm perfectly fine and happy with my position in society, but clearly women have the pick of the litter, so to speak. So maybe be a little more selective, maybe say no. I don't know, but to just use abortion as a form of birth control is fucking disgusting. And anybody who disagrees, the numbers. You got women, a group of women, black women, who are about 6% of the population, but they account for a third of the abortions. And there's over 1 million abortions a year in this country. Don't fucking tell me that women aren't using it as a form of birth control. That's 1 million lives a year. It's a form of birth control. That's disgusting. And even if they've done studies in other countries where even if abortion is illegal, that does not stop the amount of abortions that happen. As long as you got sick, fucked up states like New York and California, Illinois, all these other liberal-run states, you'd be all right, you sluts.
Hey,
it's
man.
The truth, though.
Hey, speaking of that, let me give a shout out to Anthony R. This is what he reported for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, brother. These hoes just mad they can't be raw dogging niggas, the club, and every weekend without worry. It's true. He ain't lying.
True.
He ain't lying.
Listen. I gotta agree with Jericho. Having started my family early in my 20s, you know, I wish I had waited till my 30s, you know, when I was more responsible, more mature, you know, and more capable to take care of children. Instead, you go through this situation of having to grow up with them alongside you. And trust me, it seems like it's good, but it's hell. You know, the only light at the end of the tunnel, Jericho, is in my 40s. You know, they're gonna be about grown. So it'll
Yeah,
loosen
that's the
up.
upside.
It'll loosen up just a little bit, but you know, I don't know if it's really that fair of a trade-off. I would tell the brothers, man, listen, put on the condom. Don't have kids until you get married. You know, and I know, you know, we like to blame the woman, this and that. And you know, I'm always 50-50 with it, you know, because we share 100% as well as them. This is a life, you know, this is legacy that we talking about bringing in. And it's sad because it's been more normalized. So you look at Drake at the basketball game with his son front row. He got his son out, but he not a married dude. There's no promotion of him being married and raising that family, but you got the promotion that he a good dad sitting there with his son at the game, you know. But you know, how good of a dad can you really be if you're not trying to set up that legacy? I think that's where we've really lost it, you know, as a whole American society. And it stretches beyond culture and race, color, creed, whatever you want. It seems like the degradation of American society. This idea of having family structures has to go out the window to bring in a radical left agenda. You know, one is too strong, and two, you know, it doesn't really suit, you know, their rainbow flag. It doesn't suit what their idea of family is. This idea of a blended family, and I'm not talking about, being stepfathers and all of that. You know, I'm talking about this idea, two, trans men and women, and you know, the whole thing. You know, people raising kids. You got Jada Pinkett now talking about that when she was younger, that her grandmother introduced her, you know, into pleasuring herself. And I'm like, you know, one, Jada Pinkett get off the radio, you know, in the damn TV, and two, you know, this is child abuse. And I think that's what a lot of people just aren't seeing, that this agenda, you know, seems to be more about, you know, child abuse, you know, to me. And it just goes back into, you know, this radical left agenda. You can't have this without the victims, you know. So, you know, everybody's turned into a victim. You know, black folks are victims. They bring us in to put us in front of the agenda. And now look, here we are. Look at us. The whole family structure is destroyed. You know, men don't want to put on condoms and take care of legacies. Women are out here having abortions, you know, scraping uteruses till they can't have kids no more. You know, so now, you know, what do we have left?
We have
Yeah.
nothing left, man. Nothing.
Hey, I just
All
want to
right.
say something real quick. When you mentioned Drake, there's another one that's all out in the media. Rihanna, you see her, you know, showing her belly and all that shit, and she ain't married to that fool.
Nope.
Why are we leaving? That's like trying to make something and leaving out one of the major ingredients, but we're still over here acting like it tastes good. No,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't. It tastes like shit because
Mm-hmm.
she's supposed to be married before she has that baby.
Mm-hmm.
You can't you can't you can't put the cart before the horse, man.
Nope.
What did that say on the beginning of Married with Children?
Mm-hmm.
Love and marriage. You can't have one without the other. You got to
Yep.
be married before you have these damn kids. And breaking up the nuclear family is key.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot break in somewhere and destroy something if there's a guard dog pacing back and forth on the property. You can't get in there. You'll
Nope.
never make it. He'll hear you, he'll smell you, and he will be there with vengeance. You're not getting in here. I'm protecting this. So you get that guard dog out of there, Well, now it's easy. Now you got to do is open the door, walk in, and poison the whole system and incentivize these women to keep the man out of their life.
Boom.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked to young women who are like, yeah, I just want to have a man. I just want to get pregnant, and then I just want to raise the baby by myself.
Me too.
This ain't a goldfish. This ain't a puppy. This ain't no damn lizard. This is a human being. This is a baby. That thing, you ain't just gonna clap on, clap off, and tell that baby when to go to sleep. It's not gonna potty train itself. It doesn't go by any schedule you think you might have. It doesn't give a fuck about your dreams.
Nope.
And these girls are just like, I'll just raise it by myself. That's child abuse. To knowingly go into raising a child by yourself is child abuse. Not to mention, do you know what you're doing to yourself? Do you know what happens if that baby has colic and you don't have nobody to pass that thing off to?
Yeah, man.
That open window is going to be looking better and better. And if you live up on a high floor, you're going to jump out of that damn thing. It'll drive you crazy.
Yeah.
But look, grandma help you though, Jericho. Look, don't grandma always be there clapping and supporting for her baby? My baby, he's doing the same thing she did.
Exactly. That's another thing. Why does grandma get a pass? Grandma was this girl right here 30 years ago. There's a reason grandma's only like 20 years older than that kid or something. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
When did we start devaluing the nuclear family? That's what built the empire upon which we stand today. Was fucking Leave It to Beaver, Ward, June, Wally, and the Beav.
What did they tell us though, Jericho? That is white.
White.
Family structure is white.
But
going to work is white.
Look at being on time is white. And if you live in Oregon, don't worry about math and science and shit to get out of high school. You don't have to do that because you're poor or some shit. But look at black TV shows back in the day. Family Matters, Cosby Show, Fresh Prince. They all had nuclear families. So everybody was in the family game back in the day.
Listen, I was watching Fresh Prince with my son, and my wife, she watched the new Bel-Air, but I got him into the old Fresh Prince, and I was just sitting and watching it with him because you can watch the episodes back to back, and at the end of every episode was a story, was a lesson. Even with Family Matters, Full House, you name it, any of these shows, there was a lesson that revolved around the family. There was a lesson when Will's father came in the picture, and it showed how important Uncle Phil was. Like really think about it. Whether black or white, if you think about all these shows, they showed how important the father was to the home. The mother as well, but really how important the father was to the home. And if you look at our shows now, Jay, man, they are all drama. It's all drama. Who's sleeping with who? Why you sleeping with that? Why you doing this? Why you stole this from the company? Or, there's never a real lesson on something that you can practically use in your life.
No, that's true, man. That's why those shows were so popular, because it didn't matter what race your family was. Everybody could relate to that. And everybody or I shouldn't say everybody, most everybody related to it. And if you didn't have that ideal family life, you probably longed for that. You probably wish, damn, I wish I had a Carl. I wish I had a Harriet. I wish I had a Heathcliff and a Claire. You know what I mean? Like that was it. Everybody wanted that because it was so important. It's not a guarantee that if you come from a nuclear family, you're going to be successful. But it's your best shot, man. And that's what you have to give your kids, is their best shot. But leaving a kid to be raised by a single mom, which happens in most cases, I've seen it. We all know somebody who's a single mom. It's a fucking nightmare. It's hard enough with two of you. Man, you better get married.
Yeah. Now, since we done harped on that, I'm glad we on this subject, because we also found out this week how despicable the modern women have become. Y'all know that Kevin Samuels passed away last week, and we've heard everything from the man died alone. So they tried to say the woman sawed him up. But what made everybody upset this week was Vivica A. Fox. Now, if you don't know who Vivica A. Fox is, she used to be hot like 30 years ago and fell off. And ever since then, she has been what you call a 3 at best. Now, she had the nerve to say that Kevin Samuels deserved what he got with death, with karma, trying to, I guess, appease all of the black women, which on my channel we call the Sun Women, that's saying all this mess on Twitter, trying to appease them. Y'all guys, what are y'all thoughts about men like Kevin Samuels, who was on the YouTube space, who was very conservative and discussed the importance of the nuclear family? How much of an impact did you think he done? And what, in y'all opinion, why you think so many Sun women hate this man to the extent of no return? And anybody can chime in.
I'm gonna go ahead and be 100% honest. Vivica Fox included. You bunch of angry, lonely, bitter, barren uterus having bitches. That's what it is. He shined a light on them. Nobody likes to see the bad part of them reflected in their face. But that's what he did. And it's funny because these angry, lonely, sad bitches would contact him. He didn't call them. They called him. Kevin Samuel, I'm on your show. Tell me about myself. So you wanted this. You asked for it. So how are you going to complain about something you asked for when it was served to you perfectly? He was right. He would ask the women, how tall are you? How much do you weigh? You got kids? Let's be real. You want to know why you don't have a man? Because you got your shit all fucked up. That's why. You need to work on yourself. He said, you're looking for a high value man, some dude that got options? Come on now. If I got the chance to eat at a 5-star restaurant whenever I want, why am I going to eat this greasy ass sandwich that looks like you sat on? For what? I don't have to. That's disgusting. I got access to better stuff, so that's what I'm going to do. He told him how it was. And Vivica Fox, you are absolutely disgusting. And something I don't understand, and he was I saw some guy talking about it, and Kevin Samuel was talking about how these lace front weaves and all this stuff. You're not even happy with yourself. You're a real life Mr. Potato Head. All your shit snaps into place. You don't even like yourself. So how you expect somebody else? Well, you think a man can't see that shit? He's just not saying nothing. He sees it. And he don't even want you like that. I don't think there's a man out there paying maintenance on all that bullshit that wouldn't prefer his woman to be natural. Not only would it be a blessing to his wallet, but because Black women spend over $10 billion a year on somebody else's hair. Number one, your man wants to see you in your natural form, and he wants you to know that you are beautiful in your natural form. You don't need all that shit. That's what he wants, even more than his own pleasure. He wants you to know that you're worthy, and you don't need that bullshit. She's bitter. She's probably mad because she knows even though she's famous and has money, she still ain't shit. She still don't have no kids, and she still ain't married. Because it's your attitude. You're a bitch. No man is going to put up with that shit. No real man. No way. If you don't offer peace, you will always be a side piece. That's the truth. A man needs peace and tranquility in his home. That's what he needs. That's a form of support. That's showing your man that I care about your mental well-being. I care about your mind state. So I'm going to do what I can to bring peace to your life. If a man has peace at home, he can do anything. He's willing to do anything. Knowing that home is okay, shit. But not with these loud, disgusting, angry, bitter, childless bitches. And what do you think? When you have kids outside of wedlock and you're bringing those into a relationship, Every man's not going to be Phil Drummond and take in these kids and treat them as his own. You can't expect them to. That's going to lower your value on the market. That's all he was telling them. And again, these women came to him and to gloat in his death. There's people, all these politicians we talk about every day and shit, we can't stand them. But do we wish death upon them? No. And will we gloat in their death? No. That's poor taste. That's a reflection of what she is inside. And she is a filthy, disgusting excuse for a human being.
Listen, I think one of the funniest questions that Kevin Samuels used to always ask, and I was down in Florida visiting my wife's family, and of course, this conversation of Kevin Samuels comes up. But I asked this same question that Kevin Samuels always asks, and it shuts down their conversation. If you had a son, or if you got one, would you want your son to date the woman that has 3 kids by 2 different men, or would you want him to date somebody that he can start his own legacy with? And all the women answered that question the same. Well, I would want my son to start off with somebody new. This is why your value is not the same on the marketplace. This is the point that Kevin Samuels was driving home. And just like you were saying, Jericho, these people call into the show. How can you be mad when you're calling in to the show? And I mean, all Kevin did was asked you questions. And what it did is it really exposed, what this mind state that Black women have, and I really hate to say this, but it's really more of like a dream state, where they don't view reality as it really is. They really believe in this, I can have my cake and eat it too. But one of the best ways Kevin Sims always broke them down is, well, if it was your son, what would you want your son to do? If he's making 6 figures, would you want your son to take in you? Would you want your son to take in the 3 kids, the 2 different baby daddies, 30 years old? What would you want him to do? Well, Kev, I would want him to start off fresh. Well, there you have your verdict. And this is why he explained it, and they could never handle that. And I used to always say to the women that complained about Kevin Samuels, if you're complaining about what he's saying about women, how come I don't hear you complaining about the things that he say about men? Because he's much harder on men anyways, and I mean, I'd have heard him rip men into pieces. When women think, it's, I'm getting ripped into pieces because he's asking me how I rate myself and giving me honest feedback. Because for women that were, 9s and 10s, he did say, okay, yeah, I agree with that. If you was a fucking 5, you was a 5, B. I think that's a reality that's too hard for them to deal with. Because if you look at the media, and I was saying this to my wife, like, if I'm a Black woman looking at the media, the way they show me in the media is a fat, disgusting, sloppy, lazy individual. Like I was watching a commercial. I think I was watching the game, and I forgot the commercial, but they had this fat Black chick, sitting on a surfboard in the water, and I'm like, she's not gonna be surfing. Like, she can't get up on the board if the wave is coming. Like, this is not reality, but they just paint a picture for you. And Black women just kind of, march along with it. I can have my cake and eat it too. I can be as fat as Lizzo, and still have the top 1% man in the world. And what always bothered me is, one, these women are all like, they're not realizing that Kevin Samuels was talking about a specific set of men. We talking about top 5, 1 to 5% of guys, on the planet. Most of the time, what Kevin was saying was, you should have kept the broke nigga you had. You not worth the cat that's making 6 figures. You worth the cat that's making the 40,000, the 50,000. That's what you worth. You need to retool your brain and your reality. And we it was many cases, and I don't get how Vivica Fox ignores this, where women were happy to break up homes because they thought they deserved more to only not get it and be more miserable than they were before, and the man to just go on and be happy with somebody else.
Yeah. That's a good point you made. They're in a dream state, and you can't really blame them because they've been sleeping with headphones on, and inside of these headphones they've been hearing, "Yes, queen, you can do that. You don't need no man. You ain't shit. They ain't shit, girl. Blah blah blah. You can do it, man. Men ain't shit. They ain't shit. You don't need them." So they've been hearing this shit subconsciously in their mind for a long time, and now they're being woken up. You ever been woken up out of a real good sleep, like when you were a teenager and your mom woke you up for school? I was rich. I was rich in my dream, and you woke me up out of a good sleep. You're mad, aren't you? So Kevin Samuel was shaking these women and waking them up, and they didn't like it because they preferred their dream state. They preferred being treated as though they could do no wrong. You can't even say nothing. If you were to say what you said about that fat black woman on that surfboard, you would be admonished. When that's exactly what it is. But you can't say nothing about them because of some shit that happened 250 years ago that they weren't even around for. So when you hear that bullshit for all these years, you start to believe it. Are you kidding me? And put the shoe on the other foot. What if some dude came in there? He ain't shit. He got a bunch of babies, mamas. He's not in shape, but he wants some dime piece. He's wondering why Halle Berry won't return his calls. Because you ain't ready for that. That's not for you. You're not on that level. That's why you're not getting that. And another point you made, man, I want to talk about real quick, is how you said, they got 2, 3 baby daddies or whatever. You know what that means for a man? If we're together and you're my woman, I got to deal with these fools. So if they disrespect you or something happens at the weekend handoff, I got to deal with that. They don't take that into consideration. That's how things happen. You know what I'm saying? I'm here with this dude's kid. You got some shit going on. He already don't like me. I already don't like him. So there's a potential for some shit to jump off. And if something does happen, guess what she's going to do? She's going to swing from one vine to the next.
Listen, you know how many of these murders out in these streets, is solely the fault of, listen, I hate to say this, solely the fault of black women. If we start talking about some of these murders and a lot of these beefs that get started between these brothers, listen, they over-exaggerate the situation. That started beef, between one dude and another, would start a beef between the crew, which end up, man, with beefs for years, man. It's beefs in LA that started over a woman, and I mean, listen, it's a lot of brothers dying out in the streets, all because they run behind a woman, and the woman that got emotional, and she blowing things out of proportion. And now we reaching a situation, she calling brothers, she calling fathers, she calling friends, and you got to protect yourself, or just like you said with the baby daddy, the baby daddy may have said something slick, she turned it hyperbolic. You won't believe what this nigga said. He grabbed my ass, and we got a whole situation. Somebody end up dead. All over what? Nothing. A lie. Some bullshit. Motherfuckers can't keep legs closed. That's why, to me, and when we talked about this before, it's important the family structure be there. Because it used to be, with a man and his wife, people don't tend to get in between that. But we love this boyfriend-girlfriend situation.
Yeah, that situation doesn't happen if you're married. There ain't going to be no other man disrespecting you. That's not going to happen. And I saw a story just like that on First 48. This girl had a baby daddy. She went over there. She wanted him back. He said no. So she goes and tells this other fool she's messing with, he did this and that. He runs over there with a gun, shoots the baby daddy. They catch him. They got her in one interrogation room and him in another. They interrogate her first. She told him everything. Yep. They go in there to him. He's like, man, no, you go and talk to her. She ain't gonna say nothing. They were like, she told us A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. This dude, he looked at them. He looked at him like he was a little kid. He said, "She told on me?" They were like, "Yeah, dog. She told us everything. And before we even take your fingerprint, she's going to be with another dude." But that's another symptom of these boys being submerged in estrogen their whole life.
Yep.
Being surrounded by women, nothing but women. Yeah, you got your uncle or whatever come around every once in a while, but day to day, it's all women. And that shit has an effect on you. So now you have the emotions of your mom, but the body of a grown man. Why do people marinate meat? Because they want it to taste like what it's marinated in. So if you soak a piece of meat in wine overnight, what's that meat going to taste like?
Wine.
Whatever it was soaked in. That's right.
And see, here's the thing, you know, and I'm gonna put this into another reason why that these Sun women got upset with Kevin, that was into their feelings, not only because they're bitter, because they saw something that they could not obtain. Success. He was in his stride at their age, in their age point. The women that were talking the most shit about Kevin was between the ages of 35 and 50 plus. They were upset because he did something they could possibly never do. He was successful. He was valuable. They also got upset because he made them realize that you got to stay in your own fucking lane. You know what I'm saying? Like when I used to sell cars, I used to have people come to me all the time with bullshit income trying to get champagne vehicles. Can't get that, buddy. Can't afford that. Well, I can't. Your credit ain't saying that, bro. You're a 502. You're not going to be driving off the lot in a brand new Hellcat today. Let's go over here and let's get it together with that new freaking Dodge thing over there. Yeah, that little Dodge, that little Dodge Star, Dodge Dart. That was it. Yeah, little Dodge Dart. Yeah, let's get in that Jeep, man. Let's get in that little Jeep. No, not the Jeep Grand Cherokee. No, the Jeep Patriot. Let's get that rebate for you. Let's get you started.
Get that PT Cruiser behind it.
That's exactly that's what we had to do. And people at first they used to get mad, but when they saw the numbers, oh, you really want that? Oh, okay. Here's $5,000 down. Here's a $780 a month payment. Yeah, 780, and all I get is just a basic as a V6 and a basic rating. Yeah, that's what you get. Nah, man, I'm good, man. I'll go with that. Let's look at that Jeep over there, man. That Patriot. I can deal with that. You know, and that's what Kevin was trying to tell these women. Like, yo, if you're a big woman, okay, and you don't want to put in the work to lose weight because you know you're healthy, it's not that you got a health problem, but you healthy, you don't want to put in the weight, guess what? You need to be cool with Larry the plumber, okay? That's right, Larry the plumber, who's about 50 years old, who's got Viagra ready at the table to get it in, okay? All right? Yep. You might not be able to go to the nice restaurant and stuff with P. Diddy and them, but at least he can take you to Ruth Chris every now and then, all right? Yeah. That's what he was trying to do. Not to mention, he was telling the same thing with these girls that had all these kids. Oh, you got how many kids? You got 5 kids, and you looking for what? You looking for one of these A-star guys that's making 6 figures? Nah, boo. This is what you need. You need Jim the accountant. You know, Jim the junior accountant. That's what you need to chill with. The one that makes $55,000 a year, and you take your salary with your nursing degree, and y'all make it together. There you go. Now you're a happy family.
Now, if Jim has ambition and Jim becomes a senior partner, then hey, you earn it. You put that Jim shit down. Yeah, you earn it. You're with Jim from the mail room.
Yeah.
No problem. But what was it, Redman? He said, "You're a champagne hoe with Kool-Aid money. You can't be up here talking about all this shit." And the honest truth is, if you have a kid, that's less appealing. You lose some points for that. I'm not saying you can't find a man, but don't expect to just snap your fingers and have one, because any man with half a brain knows that unless he marries you and becomes that kid's stepfather, he's always going to be second. You know, making plans And I mean, if the mother's worth the shit, she's gonna put that kid first. So
Mhm.
you can't just come over and hit it whenever you want or go out and do this and that. You got to play second fiddle to that kid, and that's not very appealing, especially if
Mhm.
you don't have one.
Oh.
If you're out here,
Mhm.
haven't spilled your seed yet, and had a kid, and you don't have none. Well, you're gonna
Mhm.
be looking for somebody who can keep up. We don't got to worry about babysitters and all that kind of shit. Now, if it's
Mhm.
just going to be a booty call, hey, that's something different. But if you're trying to build something,
Mhm.
then yeah, you got to be realistic about your shit or change. If it's something like you said, losing weight or something, change it. If you want it
Mhm.
bad enough, you'll do it.
Exactly. Thank you, Robert, for the $20 super chat. He said Pinto station wagon. You're right.
Hey,
Some of these bras need to chill with that dude with the Pinto station wagon because that's about the only thing they're gonna get.
Look, but that's why I say to people, if they think that it's something that is just gonna be, it's not just black women, and it's American culture that's changing, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and that's why I look at all women. They have this belief because of how social media portrays life. That I can have this, you know, just because I wake up and I'm breathing, today, even though I was trying to find myself in my 20s, I can still have that six-figure guy that's looking to build a family, has no kids. I'm gonna bring my 3 kids, my 2 baby daddies, you know what I mean, and my worn out snatch box, and I'm gonna bring it over to him where he reaching the height of his success. And like this, and this is what kills me. When you ask them, well, why would he want to choose you at going into the height of his success? They say, well, why not? And then when we list the reasons why
shit.
not, it's almost like, well, that's not a reason. He should be understanding. And what we really find is that, just as much as women say men don't understand women, women don't understand men. And the women that understood men were able to deal with Kevin Samuels. What he was saying was not negative to them because they understood women, but they understood men. But the women that did not understand men, they didn't understand how a man would think, and how physicality can be an important thing to us. It may not be an important thing to them. And this idea of starting a family and a legacy, and doing it with someone who doesn't, have that already started, and particularly a woman, is something that is attractive to women. So that's just my take on the Kevin Samuels situation and all the women that was gloating. If you gloating, I'm going back to what Joel was saying and what Jericho was saying. You just a miserable motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean that's just what it is. I mean, that's how it usually be. You just miserable. Um, at the same time. Um, and everything else. Now, another thing I want to add to this situation as well uh, is uh, is that we as a people we got to start going out here and try to how can I put this? I want to put it the right way here. We as a people, we got to start looking at all of the variables when it comes to making these decisions with our families or trying to get that perfect family or get what we want out of life. We got to start understanding that everything is not going to be what they think it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? Like people got to actually look at it as this. Okay, I know that I got this going on in my life. I can't achieve this. Let me take the baby steps to get to the goal I want to get to. And I think that's the problem is that society today has made it where modern women have been polluted in their brain that with hot girl summer and getting it while you live and acting the fool at these 20 and 30 and 20 and 30s, early 30s, by the time they hit mid 30s and 40s, they could get their groove back. But it doesn't work that way. That's Hollywood stuff. because you got to remember, a man hits his prime at 45 when it comes to financial stability. And that's when our market value takes off. Women's market value start decreasing right there after 35, if you kind of think about it, because that's when things start going downhill. That's why you see a lot of older men that you see 45, 50 plus getting with younger women. So the next topic we about to jump into is what y'all feel about the BLM situation with Candace Owens. Oh man, I know this is about to be fun.
Bruh, she, number one, Patrice Cullors is over there crying and shit. Like Candace Owens was kicking on her door. You better come outside, bitch. And number one, even if she was, if I look out my peephole and see little ass Candace Owens, I'm not going to start crying. Her and a cameraman. And I think if the cameraman was a ginger, so I'm even less worried about it. I'm just playing gingers. But it wasn't even like that. She went up there, knocked on the door, asked to talk to her. Security said no. They hung around for a couple minutes, realized it wasn't going to happen, and they bounced. Nothing to cry over, and no real tears. It's an act. It's an act. They don't give a. These people aren't dealing with real emotions. This is a game to them. This woman bought a $6 million house and was throwing parties in it, in your face. Don't give a shit. But Candace Owens, and no matter what, Candace Owens knows better. She knows what kind of scrutiny she's under. She knows what kind of microscope she's under being a conservative, and even worse, a conservative of color. So she knows she can't slip up. She knows her shit has to be tight. She knows that all her I's got to be dotted and T's crossed. So she ain't going to go nowhere acting a damn fool when everybody has a camera. Because if she did do that, kicking on the door or whatever, and Patrice Cullors got that shit on film, it's over. Candace Owens loses all credibility. You're doing the same thing as them. You're stupid at their level. All that shit. She ain't dumb, and she's pregnant. So come on. But Patrice Cullors is crying into her damn social media. Oh, I was worried, and I'm worried about my family. Well, hey, there are a lot of people worried about their families when your hordes of BLM protesters were going through their neighborhoods at night or destroying their businesses. So a lot of people were worried about their families. Please, you live in the Hollywood Hills. You don't got to worry about nothing. She threw a party for her son, and then before that, threw a party for Biden's inauguration. So let's bask in the irony of that statement. You are a group called Black Lives Matter, and in a Black Lives Matter facility, a building, you are celebrating the achievements of a man who authored the '94 crime bill that imprisoned an exorbitant amount of Black lives. Man, Hollywood, you get all them weird ass perverted Hollywood writers, get them in a room, tie their hands behind their back, put a gun to their head, and you tell them to write some shit better than this, and they can't.
No, they can't. And the problem is with Candace is that she, on the other hand, decided to do something that nobody else was doing. She decided to go out here and get answers. And because she wanted to get answers, now she's got a lot of people, even some of these wokians, that's saying, I don't see nothing wrong with Candace coming over to BLM and asking questions, because we want to know where the money went. That's why Patrice now is freaking out, because the support is diminishing. People done caught on to the game. Okay, it's just like you said in that video, Jericho. I seen it today when we was back when we were kids. I remember that when you act like, "Hey man, high five!" Oh, too slow. You know what I'm saying? Psych. You know, or hey man, you can have this candy. You know, you my boy. Psych. You know, those days, and then came back to bite her in the ass, because that's what it is. People have caught on that she's full of shit. They're like, okay, you got these multi-million-dollar mansions. You got one in Conyers, Georgia. You got two now in California. All right, you got one somewhere else in the Midwest. Oh, you balling out of control. Oh, y'all made $900 million. Y'all only spent $80 million of that money supposedly for charities and whatever you supposed to be trying to help. Man, get the hell out of here. Y'all is running a game. We want to know who got all the money. And at the end of the day, this is going to be the best documentary ever because people are going to be talking shit for years about how they got played once again. But we should not be surprised. Hell, the NAACP been doing it for years. All of them been doing it. That's what they do. They go and prey on the black community. They say so. All you got to do is get a black wokie to follow you. They say some Pan African shit. Brother, son, king, queen of the world. You know, black woman is beautiful. All that bullshit. Put some green and red and black fucking garments on. You're in the game, buddy. You're gonna get money. That's all you gotta do. Get you a damn chick from the street. Hey, listen, I just need you to act like you my wife. When really, you know, I'm into Spanish women. That's actually from Argentina. But I need you to play as my wife. You're good. You're good. They're gonna start shelling out money just like that.
Yep. It's man, just think how many great memories and how many lives they could potentially change if they had kids, because it's in LA. You got Compton, Watts, South Central. You got what's that place? Damn it. Is it Rose? Nah, it's like Rosita or something. It's this real fucked up area down there. So you got kids that if you had them up there for the day, have it catered, maybe have some jump houses and shit, bring those kids up there and show them their potential, show them what they can have. You could have a house like this. Maybe have somebody give them some motivational words, give them some tools to go home with. Instead, and then she looked back on it, she said, now that I look back on it, maybe I shouldn't have done that. So while you were planning your son's birthday, that thought didn't occur to you. When you were calling vendors and caterers and making a guest list and a theme, that never occurred to you that this might not look good after the heat you got earlier this year and the end of last year when people started asking where the fuck did all that money go? That didn't trigger something in your mind to say, maybe I need to be a little more careful about this shit? Because they don't care. There's no fear of consequence. They're in that cocoon of everybody agreeing with them. And all the people that should be keeping an eye on them and punishing them and being all up in their financial records are on their side because they're scared of being called something because they went after this group, this black group. And when you are treated that way, when you, hey, no, leave them alone. That's like the kid that runs to the teacher and the teacher protects them from the other kids. Well, how are you going to feel about that kid? You're going to start to hate that little bastard because the teacher protects them all the time.
Yep.
So that creates animosity. And then you're robbing them of their potential and you're robbing them of personal responsibility because every other race, they're thrown out in the cold. You deal with this. Your fault. Be tougher. Figure it out. That shit makes you better instead of always being sheltered. It's not their fault. You can't say that. So when you're constantly telling somebody that they can do no wrong and you're a queen and you're a king, what the fuck? You're just like everybody else. You're not a king. You're not a queen. You certainly don't act like it. You are just, by making them just like everybody else, you are empowering them. You are make steel sharpen steel. Get your soft, protected ass out there and scrape your damn knee. Go. Don't coddle. Don't, no, it's not their fault because of some shit, some bullshit, and help them. And no, you got to climb up there on your own. But damn, I'm going to sit them up on top ahead of you, right over the wall. But you take that rope and you climb over it yourself. And if you mess up, that's your fault, stupid. But this group, we're going to lift them. As a matter of fact, we're going to take them around the wall. They don't even got to climb it. That's bullshit. You're not letting them build that muscle. You're not letting them build that callus and be successful. You're damaging, you're hurting them. But the only way they can pull this shit off is if we fall for it. If we allow them to do that, I don't like that mentality of, well, now since we got them all back behind us and we're the protected class, now it's my turn to fuck with you. No, be an adult. Hey, you got me, Jim Crow. But that's it. We're all. If you're here, you're ahead of the game. You made it. There's people in other countries that would give their right pinky to be here. They'll give their firstborn to be here. You're already here. You won. But as long as you keep protecting people, and oh man, that's why I call us the Fabergé eggs of ethnicities. Put on the white gloves. Shh, quiet. Don't raise your voice. Turn the lights down. There are black people here. Well, what about us? Fuck you. These are black people. Okay? That's dangerous, man. That is dangerous.
It is.
You ain't no different. You ain't royalty. Get your ass out there and be just like everybody else.
Yeah, and you're right, man. Because recently I just started a new job, and the first thing I had to, even though I wear my patriotic shirts everywhere I go. Shout out to 9 Line Apparel, man. They be sponsoring the hell out of my shit. But they saw me with that. They were like shocked. Oh my God, you like 9 Line Apparel? Yeah, I do. I wear 9 Line Apparel. And then I was lucky that somebody out from where I'm at in Jessup freaking looks at my stuff and they're like, oh yeah, you the guy on YouTube. Yeah, Jericho and them on. They're like, yeah. She's like, oh my gosh. She's like, I was kind of scared because I didn't know how to talk to you because I see you 9 Line Apparel and I didn't want to say the wrong thing and trigger you. I'm like, listen, I'm not like these woke folks. Just because I got dreads, I ain't one of them woke fools, man. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I'm just like you. I'm an American. I ain't got time for that mess. I don't need any kind of reparations or any of that shit. Just give me opportunity. That's all I need. Right. Opportunity and some wisdom, and I am good. But you're right. This is what happened now. We as Black Americans have created a situation for ourselves where we're now the special ed kids in school. That's what we are in the classroom. You can't touch him. You can't do anything. You got to treat him with kid gloves. You got to be nice to him at all costs. And people think, oh, well, that's cool. They treat me special. Yeah, they treat you like special ed.
Yeah.
They don't respect you. They don't respect you. They think of you as ignorant and uncalled for. And that's just facts, man. So, at the end of the day, I'm glad that we got Candace Owens on the case exposing this nonsense. Hopefully, this will propel her to the minds and cross her over to some of these wokians to actually see what a classy Black woman is. Because when I look at Candace Owens, I think of Candace Owens like the woman that did Madam C.J. Walker, like a Madam C.J. Walker, because she's an entrepreneur. She's classy. I mean, she knows what she wants out of life, and she's a free thinker. You don't find that anymore. That's how Black women used to be back in my great grandmother day. That's how they carried themselves. They didn't dress bougie or nothing like that. They were all about the truth. They ain't had time for no foolishness. You either was about what you say you was about. If you wasn't, move out our way, because we don't have time for the bullshit. So yeah, man,
we need more Claire Huxtables, man.
Yeah, we do. We definitely do. Well, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up and everything. I think that my boy had to probably leave, but I know that I definitely got to wrap this up because I got to get up early in the morning and get ready for work. Jericho, do you got any new products coming out, man? Since this is Wednesday, and I'll be trying to get you as much exposure as possible on my end. I know you're a bigger channel than me, but I still love giving you that exposure.
Oh no, man! All exposure, I'll take it. But no, just my spring, Teespring. I always got new designs coming out on that. I just sent some out yesterday, so I'm waiting to get some rough drafts on those so I could approve them, tweak them, whatever. But yeah, I always got new stuff coming out, especially Father's Day, and I got a promo 20% off, promo code FATHER, all caps. Check it out. Yeah, I'm on the website jerichogreen.net, on YouTube Jericho Green. Search me, I pop up. You'll see where I'm at.
Yeah, exactly. And guys, like I said before, me and Jericho will try to do this as much as possible on Wednesdays. hopefully through midterms, we'll see how that goes. And then if we don't get too busy, we might make this a normal thing. I know that we get a lot of good chemistry. A lot of people like seeing us talk together. Like I said, I look at Jericho as my big brother. He's one of my major influencers in me talking the way I talk. I have nothing planned major right now for the channel, except for we still are going to keep continuing to go in more into the crime stories of what's been going along around the nation. I'm still trying to get Black Gen Z mindset on my show. Hopefully you'll answer my email. But until then, we just going to keep it like me and Jericho do, rolling. I will share his content like always. And please go to his website. It is the cheapest website out there right now to get all of the exclusive stuff. I mean, he drops videos there before he even drop it on YouTube. So you need to get over there, man. It's worth it. I'm a member of it. It is the best $3.99 I've ever invested in. That's $4 a month, guys. You get everything with Jericho. You get his archives. You get his stuff where he was special guest. You get a lot of access for $4. If you go to these other content creators, they charge people for that kind of access $10 to $25 a month. Hey, this is a blessing. So please, for the love of God, go over to his website and get dialed in. It helps out with the cause, man. And that's all I got, man. I appreciate y'all for the love and support for me and Jericho. We're definitely going to try to see how this goes. Maybe we might try to incorporate some call-ins or something like that in the future. But please like, share, subscribe. Jericho comes on every Friday. What time do you do your show every Friday, Jericho?
My live is every Friday, 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. So more long for me. My videos about 15 minutes, but I usually do it for like a couple hours or so. And people ask questions and things like that. I go more in depth about stuff. Some things I save to talk about just on my live stream. So hey, check it out. Fridays, 6:30 PST.
And let me tell you something. One thing I love about Jericho, and this is why Jericho is one of the biggest in the game, I think he's so unique, is that he does all this stuff without any kind of that fancy technology. And that's amazing, because you got some people without the fancy technology, they boring. But Jericho keeps that stream popping. So please go there, support my boy, man, and everything else. When I'm not streaming, that's where I'm at. You'll find me at Jericho's. So please like, share, subscribe. Thank y'all so much. Jericho will share this on his community post. I have this on my community post, and he'll have it on his website as well. And if he can restream it on his channel if you want to, but I'm quite sure he'll probably have it on his website. So check it out. It'll be there. Love y'all guys. Take care of yourself and each other. Y'all know how we do. We are out.
Peace.